Welcome back ulit sa ating lesson. So, for this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to ace your interview para sa mga bagong freelancer pa lang na nag apply. So, uunahan ko na kayo. I won't expect all of you to do this, tips and tricks since most of you are from the corporate world. So, mas marami na sa inyong may experience when it comes to applying for a job. And most of you already know how to ace a job interview. So for today's lesson, bibigyan ko lang kayo ng mga tips and tricks somehow na nakuha ko during my experiences as applying as a freelancer. So this is only based on my experience and hindi ko talaga inaral yung paggawa na or pag-ace ng job interview. This is only based on my experience. For for HR, yung mga HR na dito na galing na sa HR and nakapag-ace na ng interview, you are free to contribute any information na baka mali yung masabi ko. So, let's start the lesson muna. So, our agenda for today's lesson is answering basic questions during a job application and the do's and don'ts during an interview. So, for answering basic questions, here are the top three questions na itatopic natin. So, number one is the tell me more about yourself statement or question. The second one is what are your strengths and weaknesses. And the third one is what makes you unique and interesting. So, sa do's and don'ts of an interview naman, so we will discuss what to wear, how to act, and things to prepare rather. So again, I'm really sorry kung marami kayong maririnig na background noise, especially sa mga manok, since dito sa province is, alam nyo naman na kalat-kalat yung mga yan and yung mga kasama ko sa bahay is nag-aalaga talaga ng manok. And it's already 5 o'clock, so talagang matilaok sila ngayon. So I'm really, really sorry dahil ito lang talaga yung free time ko to create a lesson for you guys. So I hope you understand. So okay, let's start. So, answering basic questions during a job application. So, ito yung first part ng ating lesson. So, maikli lang tong lesson na to and um, this is just my way to provide some probably helpful information. So, hindi ko alam kung makakatulong talaga sa inyo. But I do hope that it will. So to tell me more about yourself, so I won't even waste my time reading what's written all over there. So meron naman kayo magbasa and I know you can read that and comprehend it by yourself. So this question is basically a simple way for an employer to tell you or ask you to tell more about your background. So ang hinahanap talaga nila dito is your background and not your hobbies or anything na unrelated information. So karaniwan kasi sa mga sumasagot nito, ang tinatanong nila or usually na ine-explain nila is about more about their self talaga, like hobbies, kung ano yung mga ginagawa nila during their free time and how they spend their time. So that is not what the employer is looking for. What they are looking for are the relative information that makes you unique and makes you stand out among the rest. So the best way to answer this question um, is to tell is to tell about the employer about your strongest selling point. So for example, this is the part where you can enhance the information about your experiences or your skills. So hindi mo kailangan na ikwento dito kay client kung ano yung mga pinagagawa mo sa buhay. What he or she needs to know are what are the experiences or what are the skills that can make you unique and can probably give you an advantage for this job position. So, this question is almost always asked first. So, talagang usually ito talaga yung unang tinatanong after ng mga konting chit-chat and konting mga patanong-tanong about um, the weather or anything. So, ito talaga yung usually na next sa tinatanong. So, this is the best part or the best question for you to give an advantage or to be at your advantage. So, dito makikita kung karapat dapat ka ba dun sa posisyon, since this will dictate the first impression of your potential employer. So, para dito, wag niyo nang gawing sobrang haba yung pag-explain dahil minsan nakaka-boring makinig dun sa mga nonsense, 'di ba? So, what the employer needs to know about you is how you can help them manage your business or manage their business rather, and kung ano yung mga skills and experience na magiging relevant dun sa job position. So, no need to tell about your hobbies unless they ask you. So, ayun, mag-focus kayo kung ano yung kung ano yung mga strongest point na magbibigay sa inyo ng advantage through the job interview. Okay? So, how not to answer this question? So, may tatlong klase ng tao na usually na uma-answer na kung paano nila sinasagot 'tong tanong na 'to, and it's usually the wrong way to answer this question. So the first one is the resume rehash. So to make this really simple, these are the people that answer this question by rereading their resume. So ito yung mga tao na binabasa lang kung ano yung information na nandun sa resume. Take note guys, this question can help the employer know more about you, kung ano yung mga information na wala dun sa resume mo. Siyempre, binasa na nila yan, di ba? And kung minsan naintindihan na nila, nakita na nila, nabasa nila, so bakit ba nila kailangan itanong sa'yo kung alam naman na nila? So what they need to know is how you can elaborate those information para maging advantage mo. So that's why I'm asking you or telling you to elaborate your job experience and specialization, kung ilang taon ka na dun sa field or anything. So, kumbaga, magbigay kayo ng relevant information na hindi nakasaad doon sa resume nyo. So, this question may be an executive summary of your job experience or your skills, but please don't ever read the same context that is inside your resume, since it is not really helpful and maboboard lang sa'yo si client since nabasa niya na yun. So, why the heck are you telling me this again, di ba? So, the next one is the Mr. and Miss Modesty. So, um, these are the people who are always humble when it comes to their experience and skills. So this is not really necessary to be humble or to tell someone na or pakita sa iba or especially your client that you are humble enough para maging mabait pa even though you have tons of experience. So this is not what they are looking for. So what they need, what they want is a person who is in between who is in between a very confident person and a humble person. So you need to be at least confident but not too overconfident. So ayun ang gusto nilang hanapin. So bakit kailangan nila ng humble na tao, 'di ba? Hindi naman nila kailangan ng humble pagdating sa trabaho. What they need is someone confident to do any task na bibigay nila. So, maging ano ka lang, maging neutral ka lang when it comes to your experience. No need to elaborate it in a way na magiging sobrang overconfident mo na hindi mo naman pala kayang gawin, yet you still say that you can do it just because. Kaya nga ganun, just because lang. Then, you don't need to be too humble too. Huwag mo masyadong i-down yung sarili mo since it's really a negative point for them. Then the third one is the clueless rumble. So ito yung mga tao na kunyari hindi nila alam or hindi nila naiintindihan yung tanong. So these are the people that usually ask, are you referring to my job experience or my school, or what kind of information are you looking for? So that is not what they want you to say or to reply during this question. So mas maganda kung i-answer mo na lang siya straight to the point. You don't have to ask them about any information na unrelated naman. So, mas magmumukha ka kasing, hindi prepared sa interview if you ask them kung yung tinatanong ba nila is about your job experience or schooling. So, this question is usually general. So, you can answer in any point basta sa tingin mo na mas mataas ang makukuha mo doon. So, for example, if you have tons of job experience, siyempre ang magiging key selling point mo is your experience itself. So what you need to answer or how you answer is more on about your job experience. Pero kung bago ka pa lang, like fresh grad ka pa lang, syempre ano ba yung mga magiging strongest qualification mo? So sometimes yung about sa school mo, yung mga seminars, iba yung mga yun ang magiging strongest selling point mo since you don't have any experience at all para masabi na kayang-kaya mo yung job na yon. So yun yung kumbaga it is a matter of common sense, and if you start asking um questions like you are clueless about what the job interview is all about, then magmumukha ka lang na mababa yung common sense mo or hindi mataas yung critical thinking mo para masagot mo kaagad by yourself those question na hindi na dapat tinatanong pa. Okay? So, how to nail this question? Okay, sorry. Uminom lang akong tubig. So, how to nail this question? So, paano mo ba ito sasagutin talaga? So, you need an elevator pitch for yourself as a job candidate. And it should be customized for different opportunities. Keep it focused and short, ideally less than a minute and no more than 2 minutes. So, for those people na nag-a-apply through Upwork or Indeed, kung sakasakali kung may nag-i-Indeed pa sa inyo, so usually meron tayong tinatawag na sales pitch or pitch. Pitch lang talaga. So, this is the part kung na pwede mong sabihin kay client why they should hire you. Since kapag mga online application lang, usually they are only looking at your resume and they base everything on that. So this speech is where you can, pataasin yung sarili mo at bigyan ng chance yung sarili mo na mapansin nila. So this is a question para i-sell yung sarili mo. So usually tinatanong to sa Upwork, you can give that. Doon naman sa online jobs, ginatanong din yan. So pwede ka magbigay ng message sa employer before they consider you. Parang kumbaga mas mabigyan ka ng advantage. So for an interview, same lang din 'to. So, etong part na 'to is your pitch. Kung paano mo bakit ka ba naiiba, why they should hire you, and what are the qualification or the key qualification kung bakit kailangan ka nilang i-hire. So, ideally, it is less than a minute. Pero, okay lang naman lumagpas basta 'wag lang sosobra ng 2 minuto. You know naman na napaka-boring na, for example, sa interview or pagpalagay mo lang sa pakikipag-usap na lang sa tao. Isipin mo kung gaano ka-boring yung nagsasalita yung tao ng more than 2 minutes na, 'di ba? Tapos ikaw, hindi ka makapag-react, 'di ba? Kumbaga, parang ano, puro ikaw na lang, 'di ba, parang gano'n. So, 'wag niyo nang pahabain ng 2 minutes because it makes it boring na and baka mamaya hindi na kayo pansinin because it is boring and hindi nila marinig yung mga key qualification kasi na-bored na sila. So, be straight to the point. Kung ano ba talaga yung key points na gusto mong ipakita sa kanila, yun kaagad yung sabihin mo para hindi na sila dumaan pa dun sa mga boring or useless information na ibibigay mo. So you won't be able to fit all of your great qualities and resume high points into 2 minutes. So you'll have to spend some time thinking about how to present yourself in a way that starts the interview on the right note. So a great answer will address the following. So what are your primarily selling points for this job? So this could be a number of years, gaya nga ng sabi ko, or experience in particular, an area of specialization. So you might also highlight special training and technical skills here. Focus on the qualification of the job description and how you meet and exceed the requirements. So, ito yung mga great way, kumbaga, para i-answer sila. So, first is to tell them about your primary selling points. Yun nga yung sinabi ko sa inyo. You tell them about your job experience, your specialization, how you exceed in everything. So, the second one is why are you interested in the position right now? So after you tell your key points, you can wrap it up by answering this question or by indicating why you are looking for a new challenge and why you feel this role is the best next step. So, etong part na to is your way to pitch to them why you want the position and how you think that position can help you too. Siyempre, it's a given, when applying for a job or having a job is like a give and take situation where you give them um, the benefits that you might give and they provide you the opportunities that you need on the so ayun. So sorry yun medyo nauutal ako. So ayun, so usually yun talaga yung nangyayari sa job 'di ba? So it's not just about taking someone o kaya naman ikaw na mag-a-apply para lang mag-benefit sa company. So it's not like that. So it should be a give and take situation. So this is the point where you tell them what do you expect or what are the things that makes you want to apply for the job. So, mas maganda siyempre kung sabihin niyo rin 'yun. So, it's not, kind of annoying para sa kanila. So, it's really great to hear kung bakit gusto nung tao yung job na 'yun and why you should give them that opportunity. So, parang dun sila nalilinawan sa part na 'yun. So, for example, if you want to take this job to gain more experience or to expand your knowledge since you think that their company is a great way to learn those skills or to expand your skill, then it will be great para sa kanila. Kasi para sa kanila, naiisip nila na yung company nila is somewhat valuable for a person since gusto nung isang tao na yun ang makapasok sa company nila. Okay? So the ultimate formula for this question is to answer these three in a specific order. So number one is to answer who you are. So you can introduce yourself. So take note, make it short. Huwag niyo masyadong i-blabber anything including yung address niyo. So you can tell them special highlight about yourself. Then the expertise highlight, so about your job, about your experience. Then the third one is why you are here. So bakit ka ba nag-a-apply sa job na 'to? Okay? So this is the ultimate formula to this question. So ito, so the who you are part. So your first question should be an introduction to who you are professionally, an overview statement that shows off your strength and gives a little sense of your personality too. This is not easy to do gracefully on the fly. It pays to prepare a bit in advance. So this is a good example. So kunyari, I'm an innovative HR manager with 8 years of experience managing all aspects of the HR function, from recruiting to training to benefit for Fortune 500 companies. 'Di ba? Sobrang ikli lang niya pero na-emphasize kaagad how great you are in your specialization. So, isa yun sa magandang way para i-answer tong question na 'to. So, concisely summarize diverse background. So, ito yung pangit naman na way. So, yung una is, kumbaga is a summarize of your background. So, the second one is more about too much information. So, for example, when you answer that question like this. So, well, I grew up in Cincinnati. As a child, I originally wanted to be a fireman, then later become interested in dinosaurs. I excelled in the science from early on, placing first on my fourth grade science fair. Funny story about that, so et cetera, et cetera. So, di ba parang, anong connect nung science fair nyo dito sa job na ina-apply mo? So, it's not really a valuable information for the client and bored lang siya just because kwento mo na yung childhood mo na wala namang connect sa ina-applyan mo. So, mas maganda kung iwasan na din natin yung mga ganyang blabber. So, don't be a jigger blabber, sabi nga nila. Or, I don't know if I'm doing the right expression. So, yun. So, wag ka na masyadong magbigay ng information na somewhat unrelated to the job. So, mas maganda kung i-highlight mo yung expertise mo for the introduction of yourself by telling them your expertise, kung ilang taon ka na, and what you do for those years, o although on all those years na nagtrabaho ka sa ganito, di ba? So, mas maganda kasi mas nagbibigyan sila ng idea na why you are fit to be part of that company. Okay? So the expertise highlight. So don't assume that the interviewer has closely read your resume and knows your qualification. Use your elevator pitch rather to briefly highlight 2 to 4 points that you think make you stand out. So the good answer for this one is to I have spent the last 6 years developing my skills as a customer service manager for Mega Company Incorporated, where I have won several performance awards and been promoted twice. I love managing teams and solving customer problems. So the emphasis here is on experience and proof of performance. So mas maganda kung ganun mo i-highlight yung expertise mo. So let's go to the bad answer para mas maintindihan nyo. So my first job was an administrative assistant for Macy's in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I learned a great deal in that role that served me well over the next 12 years. At the time, I wasn't sure about my career path, so I next took a position selling real estate. It only lasted for 6 months, but I sure enjoyed it. Nobody cares about your first job 12 years ago. That's right. So, sinong may pake, 'di ba? Kung ano yung ginawa mo for the past 12 years. Don't tell me na ikikwento mo pa from the start kung ano yung itong manok na to kung kailan nagsasalita ako tsaka nagaganyan. So, back to the topic. So, wala silang pakialam sa job mo for the past 12 years. So, ang gusto nilang malaman is kung ano ka ngayon and kung ano yung na-develop mo through that time frame. So, you're starting with the least impressive part of your career and the interviewer is likely to tune out before you get to the good stuff. So, syempre, ano ba yung good stuff? Syempre, yung nasa present, kung ano yung present job mo because that is, kumbaga, an example na na-develop ka na. So, dun sila usually magbe-base. So, kung sakasakali na inuna mo tong part na to, maboboard lang sila sa'yo and therefore, kumbaga bago ka pa lang makarating dun sa present, wala na yung attention sa'yo ng employer. They're just waiting for you to finish so that they can wrap it all out and proceed to the next interview. So, ayaw naman natin ng ganun, di ba? So, tell me about yourself pa lang, ayaw na kagad sa'yo ng employer. So, make sure to highlight yung talagang importante lang na part. Make sure na ganun yung magiging formula mo. Okay? So next is why you are here. And by telling them why you want the position and why. So the good answer for this one is this is an example of a concise and positive answer. So although I love my current role, I feel I'm now ready for a more challenging assignment and this position really excites me. So the bad answer for this is because of the company's financial problem and my boss issues, I'm worried about my job stability and decided to start looking for new opportunities. So don't be too candid or you risk coming across as negative. This answer also make it seems like you're interested in a job, any job, not this job in particular. 'Di ba totoo nga naman? So if you answer it like this, iisipin nila na dahil sa sobrang pressure or stress na sinasabi mo na meron sa trabaho mo, is you're willing to take any type of job, hindi lang yung job na yun. So parang hindi ka specific. So, mas maganda kung specific ka sa isang job. So, kung saan ka nag-a-apply, dapat specific yung answer mo sa kanya na ikaw talaga yung gusto kong job since ganto ganto since I think it will be more challenging for me and it's a really great one for me to develop all my skills. So mas maganda kung ganun, 'di ba? So kesa naman ikwento mo pa kung bakit ka nag-resign dun sa last job mo or anything, mas maganda kung you live into the present and tell them that you want this job because of this ganto ganto and not because of your past issues. Okay? So, let's go to the next question that usually pinahihirapan ng mga, job applicants. So, what are your strengths and weaknesses? So, emphasize a positive quality or skill that's needed for the job and minimize, but be truthful about the negatives. So, dito sa ano na 'to, sa part na 'to, usually ang nagiging mistake is they focus more on the negatives rather than the positives. So, for this one, you need to focus more on your strengths and somewhat give them an idea of your weakness, pero hindi gano'n katindi yung kumbaga hindi gano'n katindi yung pag-aano mo sa kanya, pag-e-emphasize mo sa kanya. So, mas gusto natin na ma-emphasize nila yung good part, 'di ba? Okay. So, assessing your weaknesses. So, let's get the hard part out of the way first, your weaknesses. So, this is probably the most dreaded part of the question. So, everyone has a weakness, but who wants to admit them, especially in an interview? So some example of weaknesses you might mention includes number one, being too critical of yourself, number two, attempting to please everyone, and number three, being unfamiliar with the latest software. So the best way to handle this question is to minimize the traits and emphasize the positive. Select a trait and come up with a solution to overcome your weakness. Stay away from personal qualities and concentrate more on professional traits. For example, I pride myself on being a big picture guy. I have to admit I sometimes miss small details, but I always make sure I have someone who is detail oriented on my team. So, 'di ba, dito sa sasagot na to, in-emphasize mo kung ano yung weakness mo, which is you always look at the great picture and you miss the small details. Pero binigyan mo kagad siya ng solution by telling the interviewer that you are making sure that you have someone that can look up for your lapses. So, 'di ba, kumbaga parang dun pa lang na-solve mo na siya. So, usually ang para dito sa mga, yung mga may edad na napapasok pa lang sa freelancing, and you know that being a freelancer is too technical because kailangan maging techie savvy tayo dito. Techie savvy or techie savvy. So, I don't really focus on, I don't really know the proper pronunciation for that. So, you may correct me. So, kailangan talaga focus tayo sa technology, and we are really good at technology if you want to become a freelancer. So the very first weakness that they always mention on a job interviews they is that they are unfamiliar with the latest software. So this is one of probably my weakness too when I first started freelancing. So usually when my client asks me what is my weakness, I usually told him or her that I am really not updated to the latest software, and I may have a few problems when it comes to using some of the softwares that they are using. So what I what what I counterpart with this weakness is that I told them that I am a fast learner, and I'm really willing, and and my willingness to learn all the softwares is, matindi. So, para sa akin, yung weakness ko is not knowing how to use all the softwares that they might want me to use. Pero ang counterpart ko doon is that I'm willing to learn kung paano gamitin yung software na yon. So that gives me an advantage since, mas maganda kung kahit papano is kung hindi ka nagmamagaling and willing kang matuto para lang, makatulong sa kanila. So that is what they want. So, huwag kang maglalagay ng weakness na wala kang counterpart. So, make sure naman talaga na lahat ng weakness mo is willing ka i-counterpart or willing ka i-overcome. So, that is usually your strength. Okay? So, assessing your strength. So, when it comes time to toot your own horn, you need to be specific. Assess your skills to identify your strengths. This is an exercise worth doing before any interview. Make a list of your skill, dividing them into three categories. Okay, so dito sa pag-assess ng strengths, we divide it into three specific categories. So the first one is the knowledge-based skills. So this is acquired from education and experience. For example, the computer skills, the language degrees, trainings, and technical ability. So the transferable skills, which is the portable skills that you take from a job to job. So ito yung mga analytical problem solving and planning skills. The personal traits is your unique qualities. So ito yung mga soft skills. So this is the dependable skills, flexible, friendly, hardworking, expressive, formal, punctual, and being a team player. So may tatlong klase ng skill, pero usually is napapansin lang is the hard skill and the soft skill. So knowledge-based skill and transferable skills are all under hard skills. So ito yung mga skills na talagang kinakailangan since ito yung natutunan or yung na-transfer. Then the personal traits is under the soft skills. Kumbaga ito yung skills na based on your personality. Okay? So keep on the strong side. So job interviews are among the most nerve-wracking part of the job search process. So which is why being prepared makes all the difference. Want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward? So join Monster for free today. So this is one of the best, the best preparation na ginawa ko dati. I joined their group. So may nilagay naman akong link dyan so you can try to assess yourself before an interview by using, this one. So as a member, you'll get career advice and job search tips sent directly to your inbox to help boost your candidacy. from why we should we hire you to what are your long-term goals rather. Will help you prepare answer to the trickiest questions so your strengths are on full display. Okay? So the last question is the what makes you unique question. So how to answer this question? So when an interviewer asks you to tell them what makes you unique, they are trying to delve a little deeper into your character and personality. They want to find out what skills and qualities you value in yourself and what you think is important in relation to the job you're applying for. So this question is not really about what makes you truly unique. So the interviewer isn't interested. Uh, so the interviewer isn't interested in your unusual party tricks or eccentric habits. They want to find out what sets you apart from other candidates in terms of the value that you could bring to the company. So usually akala ng iba this is an answer that makes you ito yung kailangan na answer is that sorry. Nag-relate ulit ng konti. Okay. Okay? So, akala ng ibang tao, ang kailangan ng employer na answer to this question is your, unique habits of solving any problem or anything. So, that's not it. So, what they want to know is what makes you stand out among the rest by answering the real question, and that is what is the value that you could bring to the company. Okay? So typical mistake to avoid sa pag-answer ng question na to, yung number one is the oversharing. So interview wants to know about relevant skills and qualities, so keep it professional. So you need to focus dun sa mga relevant lang na part. So make sure na hindi mo na kailangan pa isama yung mga irrelevant na part ng ano mo, ng experience mo na hindi naman na kailangan ng interviewer. The second one is being too generic. So answer that are bland and do not have specific example to back them up will not get you far. So mas maganda kung magbigay ka sa kanila ng, wag nag-share ka ng some details, you need to back it up with some proof. So mas maganda kung ganun. So you want to describe something that truly makes you stand out and explain how this will make you a valuable addition to the team. So you need to broadly explain it in a way na hindi siya gano'n ka-overshared. So mas maganda kung kunyari, for example, i-highlight mo yung isang skill mo. Then you tell them about how you use that in one of the company that you work for. Then after that, you tell them how you can use it for their company. So kung hindi naman graphic design company yung ina-applyan mo and you're not applying as a graphic designer, so don't try to share anything that is related to graphic designing since it is not related to the job. If you're applying as a content writer, you tell them about your skill as a content writer, your specialization, and after that, you tell them about where you work and kung paano mo natulungan yung company na yon. And the last part is how you can help them too. So, mas maganda kung ganun. You need to be too specific dun sa job na ina-applyan mo. So, rambling, don't go on and on. Keep your answer focused, concise, and to the point. So, ito yung sinasabi nilang mas maganda kung minsan may index card ka, especially kung napaka-importante ng job interview na yon. So, this way, mas makukuha mo kung ano ba yung tawag sa ganito, yung kumbaga yung pinaka-key point and hindi ka mapupunta dun sa point na salita ka na lang ng salita nang wala ka naman ng patutunguhan. So, maging focus ka lang dun sa kung ano yung pinagsasabi mo and maging straight to the point ka pa rin kahit papaano. So, the fourth one is lying. So, in a stressful condition of an interview, it can be tempting to come up with the answer that isn't strictly true in an attempt to impress the interviewer. So, you're likely to get found out, so make sure your answer is honest. So ito yung ginagawa ng iba and tinuro ng ibang tao when it comes to interview. They told them that it is okay to lie as long as you can prove it. So that is not true. So mas maganda kung maging honest ka na lang. The employer will surely want to teach you or to help you overcome those parts na hindi mo naiintindihan. mas maganda kung naging honest ka na lang kaysa yung tipong magsisinungaling ka sa kanila that you can do that job and they will expect you to that you can do it. Then kapag pinagawa na nila sa'yo, mangyayari is hindi mo na alam kung ano yung gagawin mo. And sometimes kahit si Google or YouTube hindi ka maturuan ng maayos, 'di ba? So they are basing on your experience and that is why they hire you. So bakit ka magsisinungaling? So kapag nagsinungaling ka, the tendency is that during the first week or the second or the first 2 weeks of your job, papagawa nila sa'yo and then hindi mo magagawa. The tendency is ma-found out ka and matatanggal ka lang din. So, 'di ba? Parang kumbaga, ginawa mo yung pagsisinungaling ngayon para matanggap ka sa job na yon, pero yun din yung dahilan kaya ka natanggal. So the last one is talking yourself out of the job. Be aware of giving an answer that contradicts what the company is looking for. For example, talking about your outgoing personality and love of conversation may not be ideal when interviewing for a role that requires a lot of independent focus work. So, yun nga yung sinasabi kanina na wag kayong magsalita ng kahit ano na hindi naman kailangan dun sa job role na ina-applyan mo. So, mas maganda kung maging focus ka lang dun sa kung ano yung mga skill na kailangan dun sa job na ina-applyan mo. Okay? So here's a summary of what we discussed. So number one is focus on what sets you apart from other candidates in terms of your skills or experience. The second one is keep your answer relevant. Use the job description as a starting point to understand what the employer wants and how you can add value. The third one is use as specific examples to illustrate how you have used your unique abilities in the workplace. Fourth, don't be blinded by the world. Don't be blinded by the word unique. The interviewer wants to find out what makes you interesting, not completely off the wall. So the last one is to practice delivering your answer so it sounds fluent and confident. Okay? So tapos na tayo sa first part ng ating lesson. So we're going to proceed to the second part, which are the do's and don'ts of interviews. So what to wear? So napakaikli lang na tong part na to. So I'm going to just, go through it since this is a common sense na lang. So what to wear is to stay casual, do not overdo it. So yung iba kasi is sobrang OA manamit na akala mo party na yung pupuntahan. So you can stay casual, so you can wear if you are from the corporate world, you can just wear the simple casual wear na sinusuot mo through the office. You don't need to overdo it because yung iba nga nakasuot ng formal sa taas pero sa baba hindi, 'di ba? Kasi it's only half of your body na nakikita nila unless pinatayo ka nila, 'di ba? So stay casual, so wala yan sa pananamit. It's just a way of looking professional and para ipakita sa kanila na professional ka. So wear clean clothes, color that matches your personality. So mas maganda kung ganito kasi syempre 'di ba, parang mas nagiging stand out kumbaga. So if for example, if you are a happy person or you're somewhat active gano'n, puwede kang mag-wear ng colors na kumbaga nagsi-signify ng kumbaga ng sunny personality mo. For example, yellow gano'n. Then if you are somewhat professional, you can wear black and white clothes. So mas maganda rin siya tignan, 'di ba? Professional and clean looking. So how to act? Sorry. So, how to act? So, paano ka ba a-act sa harap ng employer mo when you are facing him or her cam to cam, 'di ba? So the first one is to avoid doing unnecessary things gaya ng pagpapaikot ng ballpen sa kamay or pagpapatunog ng kung ano-ano, 'di ba? So parang it's really annoying na kapag ini-interview ka na parang kumbaga nakaka-distract na makita na may iba kang ginagawa. So it's just a way of telling them that you are not focused enough. Kasi dun pa nga lang sa interview, hindi ka na naka-focus, 'di ba? So I know it's kind of alam mo yun, awkward, 'di ba? Kasi kaya yung iba nagkakaroon sila ng mannerism na kung ano-ano yung ginagawa nila para lang mawala yung kaba nila. Pero alam mo yun, once you are comfortable na dun sa interviewer, so it only takes at least 2 minutes after. Kaya nga nila inuuna tanongin yung how's the weather in there or how's the temperature, how's the traffic para maging comfortable ka. So that is their way of making you comfortable. So usually it takes only 2 minutes or 1 minute before ka maging comfortable sa kanila. So dun sa pag-act na yun, Huwag ka masyadong magalaw. Try to look them in the eyes and try to focus more on them rather than the other things around you. So, ganun lang yung kailangan mong gawin. So, be calm lang and just enjoy your interview. So, things to prepare is number one sa paper for notes. So, ito usually yung ginagawa ko. Lagi ako may papel. So, noise cancelling headset. So, kung wala pa, okay lang yun. Pero mas maganda kung meron. Kasi katulad nga ng nangyayari sa akin ngayon dahil wala akong noise cancelling headset. Ang nangyayari, sakop na sakop lahat ng ingay, di ba? So, a quiet place, which is wala din ako. So, thankful ako na hindi na ako gano'n na-i-interview ng gano'n and somewhat kapag na-interview ako is naiintindihan naman ni client kung bakit. So, a quiet place, it may be your room or somewhat na wala ganong maingay. So, and the fourth one is notes for emergency. Notes talaga. I really, really trying to insert this on your mind na be prepared sa mga notes na kailangan. So, napaka-importante nito. In case of in case of emergency na may gusto silang sabihin sa'yo, at least ready ka na kagad, 'di ba? Okay, so thank you guys. So please proceed to lesson 1.4 para dun sa mga naka-Google Drive na. And as for the people here on Facebook na in-uploadan ko na to dun sa group ng GBSS. So yun, stay tuned for lesson 1.4. So if you have any question, feel free to ask me using the comment section or you can always ask me by sending me a message directly on my Facebook account. So, thank you guys. I hope na nakatulong ako kahit papaano dun sa mga information na kailangan yung makuha. So, yun lang. See you on lesson 1.4.